Anyway, back to the US Civil War, where we were discussing how the CSS Virginia was protected by a virtually impenetrable iron superstructure. Think about it. If you fire a cannonball at a flat ship's hull, it can transfer pretty much all of its energy into penetrating the hull. But if you angle the hull instead, a cannonball will tend to deflect off and keep going, using its energy to continue its flight. Notice how there are no flat surfaces, so any cannons fired from nearby vessels will tend to do far less damage. Of course, at the time these sorts of ironclads were introduced, it wasn't so much cannon fire that was the problem, but rather explosive shells. Typically, the explosives were detonated when the shells struck an object. If you have a flat hull, your armour needs to be thick enough to withstand the full force of the blast. Angled armour, however, could be much thinner, as it relied on deflecting the shell as well to minimise the chance of detonation. A similar concept was used on the Monitor, which was a Union ironclad that would later face off against the Virginia. Her defences relied on exposing minimum superstructure above the waterline, and any that was exposed would be protected by thick armour and shaped to deflect incoming projectiles. The round central turret was a decent target, but you'd need to hit it straight on to cause damage because anything on one of the curved sides would be deflected away. Nonetheless, both designs were so successful that when the Virginia and the Monitor engaged in battle, it ended in a draw, with neither vessel able to deal significant damage to the other. But how is any of that of relevance today? We know that shells and ammunition have developed significantly since then, so the shape of modern high-tech vessels surely can't still be down to deflecting fire. Well, in a way it is, but it's no longer about deflecting projectiles, it's all about deflecting radar. If you can deflect radar, you can make your warship look smaller and make it much harder for your enemies to track you. Radar works by sending out an electromagnetic pulse which bounces off objects and returns to its receiver. By timing the length of time between transmission and reception, you can work out a distance to an object along a bearing line.